storm. The winds blew, the waves went up and down, and the ship went up and down over waves. And you know what? They woke up Jesus, and he said, "Peace, be still." And everything just stopped. Jesus does have the power of everything. He does lots of stuff. He does lots of miracles.
Hey, Living Word family, it's Wednesday. I hope that you are well this week. The sun is out yet again. I hope that you're enjoying that sunshine. We are in week, I don't even know what week we are in. We are in a lot of weeks of quarantine. And I don't know how that's hitting you this week. I know that for the first few weeks, even 4 or 5 weeks, it was pretty easy to rally. There's plenty of challenges. It's been incredibly hard. But 6, 7 weeks in, I think that we're coming, I can speak for myself personally and even my family, we're coming to the end of our resources a little bit, mentally, emotionally. We're recognizing and seeing our limitations even more clearly. And can be a really aggravating place. Maybe you're in the same spot. You've noticed that maybe your relationships are a little more on edge with friends, with family, maybe with your spouse, with your kids. You've been holding tight, holding fast for many, many, many weeks, and it feels like I'm running out of energy to do this. So if you're in that place, you're not alone. I think all of us are experiencing that at some level. And that place where we reach the end of our resources, where we experience our limitations. As a people of faith, we actually think that that's a really good place. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to our world. But for those that trust in Jesus, or have put their trust in Jesus, we understand that it's actually in acknowledging our limitations. It's in acknowledging our weakness or our inabilities that we begin to welcome the work of the Spirit of God in our lives, that we begin to lean into and become dependent upon the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. And so, strangely, we see that as actually a very good place. But I think there's a war that takes place in our heart and our spirit against this place of limitation and coming to the end of our resources. So if you are in that place, know that you're not alone, and know this, that God desires to meet you there. James says, when you lack wisdom, just ask God and He will give it to you. There's plenty of scriptures that point us to this seeking the heart of God when we've come to the end of ourselves. And so I am praying and I am asking that God would reveal Himself to me by the Holy Spirit in a fresh way during this time. And I pray the same thing for you. That as we come to that frustrating place of being at the end of ourselves, that we would become even more fully dependent upon the work of the Holy Spirit in our lives. That we would become even more trusting in the presence and the love of Jesus. I pray that for you and for your families. I'm looking forward to being with you online this weekend. Pastor Shannon is bringing us a word from the Sermon on the Mount on anxiety and what Jesus has to say about that, which I think is just really fitting during this time. So I love you. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.